Ogres, and welcome to Stand for the Fire Demon. I'm not your DM. This guy is.
No, that guy, yeah.
Ailas
This
is
guy.
almost dead.
Yeah, those are not representative of where our HPs are currently at because my HP update thing just took the piss. So,
It took the piss, didn't it?
it took the piss, governor.
He pissed in
All
his
right.
pants.
All right, so here's where you guys were. You had met with the Spore Sovereign. The Spore Sovereign told you that he was working with Ibecutio to mind control the Queen of Orkenray. There was more information there I can reiterate later. The main thing was Buckenwald agreed to wear the Spore Sovereign's cape to basically work as the mantle of the Spore Sovereign and spread spores as he travels throughout the world to strengthen the Spore Sovereign's influence. In exchange, Buckenwald got a bunch of cool magical shit off the cape.
Wait, is it a cape or a mantle?
It's a cape. It's what I was trying to figure out with it though is I kind of like the idea that it's just a cloth that you can fashion however you want, like a big swatch of cloth.
Uh-huh.
So it's probably like
Imagine
that.
a mantle would have like pauldrons or something.
Yeah,
you know?
probably.
You're a pauldron.
Yeah, so it's a cape. It's just a fucking cape.
It's just a
Randy
goddamn
did
cape.
it.
Just a normal, dirty, smelling, stinky cape.
It smells like mushrooms.
Yeah. So as soon as you put the cape on, an alternate future version, it appears, of the Spore Sovereign appeared to tell you that things were going to be terrible if you continued to wear the cape. Bucky, you saw a future where you were like standing on a tower above you were standing on this huge tower and it was spreading out mushrooms as you were like one leg up, like ha 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 ha, laughing. You guys also saw an idyllic future working with the Spore Sovereign where mushrooms and people work together in harmony.
But then
After
everything changed when Buckenwald attacked.
Mushrooms and people.
After the fight was over, you guys were teleported directly to Steelin through the Mycadon network.
Yep.
Steelin being where Bucky and Ptyrl's Archfey patron asked them to go to investigate the Temple of Dorism.
People got
where
really
the Slotty,
into portobellos is what it is.
where the Slotty are supposedly working. You guys appeared in this picturesque you guys appeared under the Lover's Tree.
Nice.
This picturesque place right here.
Excellent.
And we're going to do a tiny little fast forward from where we ended last time.
Fast forward.
That's cool.
So, we open with Buckenwald and Ptyrl sitting across from one another on the ground at a small picnic in Brightblade Park, Steelin. There's a checkered blanket spread out on the grass with an open basket full of pastries. A round jug of spiced cider sits beside it. In the middle of the blanket, standing and messily eating a scone, is a small fey girl in a big floppy flower petal hat and patchwork button clothes. Her name is Lilac, like the flower, high priest to the Archfey Queen Hazel, of whom Bucky and Ptyrl have both sworn a pact. She holds up one finger as she finishes an overly large chocolate scone, and after reaching for another scone, she begins to speak. Hey dorks, Her Majesty wanted me to give you your orders, so listen up. She says there's a metal room on the second floor of the Doris Temple with a thingamajig inside she wants. You know what that means. Get it for her, at any cost. Her face gets deadly serious and she repeats, at any cost. If you don't die, and please don't, then bring the thingamajig directly to Her Majesty. These will lead you back to us in a hurry. And then she hands you Buckenwald, and she hands Ptyrl each a small wax beehive about twice the size of a gusher. And it's got a tiny amount of liquid suspended inside and actually appears kind of like a gusher. Oh. And she says, just chew it and blammo. Oh, and also figure out what the slot are doing. Any questions? And then she looks to you, Buckenwald and Ptyrl.
Ptyrl says,
Well-
okay, what is it that we had to get again?
The thingamajig.
Yeah, that's all she said.
At the top of where?
It's on the second floor of the Doris Temple. It's a metal room.
Floor.
After or during our interaction with the Spore Sovereign, though, Lilac, like the flower, we discovered that the Slod are they actually created Doorism as a front.
Okay.
So it's they're hiding behind it. The Doris Temple, the Doorism religion is all Slod created. And they're just using it as a sort of means of disguise.
Well, we've heard through the network that something big is happening with the temple, something big that's going to happen within the next day or so even. So you would probably be good to go in there and get this thingamajig and kill all the Slod inside.
Okay. Can you give us any more information of what we're looking for? Because thingamajig isn't really all that descriptive.
It's kind of like this big. She holds up her hands about a foot, we'll say 1.5 feet.
Okay.
It's a circle.
Is
Looks
it a
like you
ball
could
or
hold
a disc.
There we go.
Looks like you could hold a scroll inside.
Okay.
It's like a scroll case. We think there's a map inside.
Woo! Gee whiz!
Okay. Are Ailas and Xoasin near us?
No, it's just you and Ptyrl.
Okay.
It's you two jerk boys jerking each other.
No.
Yeah.
Bucky, roll a charisma check.
A charisma?
Do a let me pull up a character sheet here.
Persuasion,
Just do a quick
perception.
jerk check.
Quick jerk check.
Stop.
Yeah, persuasion.
I'm already under his skin.
15.
Okay, so as you continue to kind of ask her questions about this, she clarifies that they know that it's a map of some kind, and with your persuasion, she gives you a little more information. She tells you that this is a map to a place called Mechanus, which you may or may not have heard of. Mechanus, roll me, let's say Arcana for you, Bucky.
Okay. Well, I know what Mechanus is because we've been interacting with 3 mil.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
Okay, so you don't need to roll then. Yeah.
So I at least know what it is. I might not know that much about the plane, specifically, but I at least know the gist of it.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was having you roll for, was to see if you remembered it. So yeah. Cool.
Okay.
Suddenly, as she begins talking, or as she continues to talk with you and gives you information, her face goes deathly pale. She looks at you and she says, "There's someone here. We need to leave."
Okay.
When she speaks, there's an otherworldly echo behind her words. And she kind of turns to run. And then you notice that her feet, her legs and her feet are stuck to the ground. And there's vines moving up her legs and binding her in place.
Uh-oh. We didn't long rest or anything, did we?
Yeah, you guys did.
Long
Yeah, we
rest?
fast forwarded way into the future.
Yeah, we fast forwarded to.
Not way.
Okay, so what has happened since then? I was kind of leaving it vague, but you guys have long rested, yes.
Oh, okay. Because my character sheet does not show that.
Yeah, well, I didn't say it until just now because I forgot to tell you guys that you long rested.
Okay. Well,
But you did, baby.
I just did now.
You're so rested.
I feel full.
Lilac turns to you with empty eye sockets, sprouting long iridescent mushrooms and leaking dark biomass. Resist her, she manages to cough out before a green plant tendril bursts from her throat.
Gross.
Before your eyes, you see lilac, like the flower, overtaken by fungus and quickly spreading mold. In a few agonizing seconds, she is consumed by the rot, leaving nothing behind but skeletal remains and a large-brimmed petal hat.
I'm gonna pick up the large brimmed petal hat.
Okay. You pick it up. It's kind of dripping with just
Gross.
fungus and lichen and grossness. And as you pick it up, you hear a voice all around you coming from. You were kind of in a clearing in the forest where you were sitting with the picnic. There are trees on all sides of you.
Mm-hmm.
You hear coming from the trees all around you a voice that just says in echoes, "I am the Lady of Decay."
Do I know anything about? Have I heard anything about this?
You can roll an Arcana, but I have not mentioned a Lady of Decay before. So this would just be a straight if you remember it from your backstory.
Nope.
It'd be a pretty high roll.
I got a 2, so I don't know shit.
You don't know nothing.
I don't know a dang thing.
A Lady of Decay? Yeah, you have no idea.
What's that?
Then you see a figure moving out from one direction in the woods, coming towards you.
I'm
Figure's about...
going to draw my hammer sword thing.
You look down and you notice that you have no weapons. There's like an ethereal feeling to where you are right now.
Okay, can I prepare an Eldritch Blast?
You can, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
The speaker has the upper half of a beautiful woman wearing a delicate white dress with gaunt facial features. Her torso is a long mass of plants and tendrils that move to drag her forward. Long strands of red lichen make up her hair, which hangs halfway down her back. You smell a sweet floral perfume with just a hint of rot behind it.
Gross.
Yeah, so she's like tendriling and pulling herself forward and kind of slugging it as well. And as she begins, yeah, she's slugging it for sure.
Yeah, I had a picture in my head of something.
She do be slugging.
She be slugging. She begins by complimenting you on the things you've done so far. The battles you've won. The untold lives you've saved. When she sees you pull the Eldritch Blast, she stops. So she's maybe 20 feet from you, I'll say. Mm-hmm. But she is not approaching, and she doesn't appear... appears to just be talking to you as awkward and as uncomfortable as she looks and as creepy as she looks. She doesn't appear to be threatening you.
Okay. I'm doing this more out of caution than anything else, so...
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, I don't know what's going on. I don't have my weapons. Wait, do I know I don't have my weapons?
You reached down for your hammer and it wasn't there.
Okay. So, is this going to be one of those, like, when you're watching a TV show and they show you the end of the episode and then it just blacks to 3 days earlier or something like that?
You don't know. You're in the middle of it.
Oh, shit.
This is what she looks like.
Okay. So I'm standing there 20 feet from her, with holding the flower hat thing that I kind of shook off all the gross. Uh-huh. And then I just prepped an Eldritch Blast. I'm not pointing it or anything yet. I just have it ready.
She says that she continues and she says that the world needs more heroes like you, Buckenwald. She mentions the kingdom of Pyrrha, or the kingdom of Orkenray, I mean, who at this moment is preparing a full invasion of Pyrrha. Hundreds of thousands of lives will be lost, and yet she has the means to end it, to install a new ruler in Orkenray. And then she leans a little bit closer and she says, you.
So I am now, in my head, thinking of the vision I saw from the Sports Sovereign.
Okay.
And thinking that this is one of the possible futures. And this is kind of an out-of-character question, but it's going to inform my decision-making here. What sort of pull does my vampiric link to the Vampire Queen have on me at this moment? Because I feel
not your Archfey patron, but just the Vampire Queen?
Yes, because... One, I feel like there's enough power from this individual that is going to make me, that not necessarily overpowers the Fae Queen, but kind of like balances it out so where it's not really it doesn't have an effect on me. Like that, any pull that the Fae Queen is having on me isn't like influencing me at all.
Okay, so you feel cut off from anything with the Fae Queen. Like you were still able to manifest your Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, I still
but
have
as you're
the
looking
power,
down,
but...
it's kind of crackling and weakening just because of where you are right now.
Okay.
But the Lady of Decay who is talking to you makes it very well known that to do this, you have to do two things. You have to swear allegiance to her, and you have to bring her the item that poor Lilac's Queen desires from the second floor.
Okay.
Bring it to her, and bringing her this item, bringing the Lady of Decay this item, will confirm to her that you are swearing allegiance. Okay. So you don't have to decide now, but when the time comes...
Yeah. But my main question there was, do I feel any sort of leaning one way or the other because of my like connection to the Vampire Queen? Because I'm not just a vampire, I'm the Vampire Queen's thrall.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that would affect my decision making in this moment.
So as you're thinking this and kind of questioning, I know this was an outside DM question, but as you're just kind of going over all the different thoughts and ideas in your head, it's almost like the Lady of Decay can read your thoughts, and she kind of assures you that with her tutelage and with her power, as you are already undead, you will grow in strength and power as a vampire with her.
Okay.
She says, your heart is noble, Buckenwald. You are but one dwarf. You lack the power to change the course of fate alone. But I offer you the means to shape the future, to forge a new kingdom where your justice can reign supreme. Become the ruler of Orkenray. End the war. Save those who still have a chance at a future. I will help you, and together we will build a realm where your justice, your vision, can finally flourish.
Okay. Now, is this whole vision or whatever the hell this is gonna like fade away momentarily?
It will in just a moment, yeah.
Okay. I'm just like, because me, as thinking of my character and how I've been playing it, I don't feel like Buckenwald ever had any sort of aspirations of anything like that.
Yeah.
So this is just kind of a whole new thing.
Absolutely.
Like a new possibility, and I don't know what, personally, I don't know what to choose. So
she says to you as you're thinking about this, as it starts to fade away, she says, I will not rush you, Buckenwald. Take your time, but know this, your destiny calls. The world is teetering on the edge of chaos, and only a ruler of true power can bring the peace that you seek. The artifact is the key to our future, and you can either deliver it to Queen Hazel's foolish whims or bring it to me, where it will unlock a reign of justice under your rule. Choose wisely, but know that every moment you delay is a moment wasted.
okay.
And then it kind of fades away, and you find yourself, oh my god. She's gonna jump right back up too. You find yourselves, all four of you, Buckenwald, you kind of come to, and you haven't been dreaming. You were just like, it was like you were sitting at a bus and you just phased out because you were thinking, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then you just phase back in.
Like I
"Whoa."
mentally checked out for a while, and then...
And you look down and you're holding a piece of your cape. Like your cape isn't broken, but you're holding like the edge of your cape. And you're looking at where the normal, just typical brown kind of dull color of it is. And you can see almost like a slow pulsing of veins running through it, like bright fluorescent veins pulsing in and out.
Does it look like regular? Does it look like the normal cape but shiny, or does it look like decay?
These veins running through it are totally new.
Okay.
Everybody else, you guys find yourself sitting with Buckenwald on the... Brandon finds his notes.
On the Brandon finds his notes. Okay, what is that?
All right. I don't have a map for this, unfortunately. I ran out of time, but traveling with a celebrity has its perks, as Ailas was able to book the party seats on a VIP sightseeing tour of the city.
No way.
Awesome.
We open on each of you crossing a wooden rope bridge into the basket of a small dirigible at a private airship dock. The ground is a dizzying 80 feet to the city streets below. Mm-hmm. The basket's 35 feet long and has 12 seats, so the basket's about the size of a school bus is what I based it off of. There's 5 seats on each side, and then the pilot and the co-pilot seat.
That's cool. So there's like 10 people on here with us, or 6 other people?
No, it is. So there's 10 seats. There's you 4, and then as you guys get onto the dirigible, there's nobody else except the steward, who is a little gnome, who's helping you guys cross into the bridge.
Are we on the Fortnite bus?
Yes, you guys are getting on the Fortnite bus. However, if you can choose to wait, well, you can choose to do whatever you want, actually. But if you choose to wait, you can see if anybody else is coming to get on the dirigible. You can go ahead and get on it now. You're free to ask questions or do whatever you guys want at this point. That was pretty much my setup for the session.
Okay, so I'm gonna turn to Ailas and say, well, where did you book this again?
Oh, I have my ways.
Well, but where are we? Where is it going?
Oh, it's going to insert DM.
It's a tour of the city.
Oh, yeah. It's just a tour of the city. The city is quite large.
Literally last session, Xoasin, you said maybe we should get a tour of the city.
Yeah. Well,
that's where this comes from.
Maybe my ultimate hope is that they drop us off on the highest tower just for 5 minutes and then get us back on as they dock. Just to
Or
get
we could just ask the Birdman to fly around a bit.
the cupola. Well, I want to see it though.
Well, then he
Bucky.
get on his back.
You'd be a terrible.
Yeah. You'd be
I'd be a terrible
what? A terrible That's what you'd be.
Tour guide. You'd be a terrible tour guide.
That's fair. Well, that's because we're not in, what's the name of my city again?
Terrible tour guide.
Yeah.
Delgorum is your city.
Yes, Delgorum.
I almost said
yes.
Dunmoreau, but that's from World of Warcraft.
Oh, shit. I've never played that, honestly. I really should have given that a shot.
It's still going strong.
Oh, yeah. They just recently released a new stuff.
Nice.
Xoasin, roll me a perception, please.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and get on the dirigible as I do this perception check.
Okay.
So, do they notice that I was kind of checked out? Or...
I think no, not in the hustle and bustle of everything going on.
I got a 17 total. Yeah, I didn't notice. I was too busy looking at the dirigible.
Also, there could have been a time dilation where it was just seconds.
Yeah. You notice that the steward that is helping you on, the little gnome, has a face tattoo of an albatross, which is the symbol. It's the symbol of the Thieves Guild in Racine, the capital city of Pyrrha.
Oh.
Nice. Okay.
Does everybody else want to... Oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna follow Xoasin and
As we
sit
enter
across from him.
As we enter the dirigible and this little gnome guy, you say, is that what race he is?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna give him a quick handshake that is actually thieves can't. It's just gonna communicate like, oh hey, recognition.
Okay. Yeah, he goes to shake your hand. He looks like a very grumpy little gnome. And he goes to shake your hand, and he's confused for a moment, and then he matches into the rhythm of it.
We're gonna go like this.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like,
You're just doing Naruto hand symbols.
some of this stuff.
Yeah, and then we both snap.
Yeah. Yeah, and he gives you the greeting back of, like, a fellow thief.
Right on. I'll take my seat. That's
Okay.
it.
Okay. I'm gonna sit across from Xoasin so I can have a conversation with him
Okay.
in striking Viper's hand signals.
All right. Ptyrl is next. He gets onto the dirigible as well, and he's very excited to see that there's an open bar, so he helps himself to some liquor right away.
He's already
yes.
drunk. He stumbles on. Is like, more liquor. More of it.
I can finally soar through the skies.
Fill my hollow bones with booze.
That's awesome.
And Ailas, I assume that you are... Well, I shouldn't assume. What is it that you are doing?
I am. That's what. Okay. I am just. I'm at the front of the thing and just staring out at the moment.
Staring out at the city.
Yeah.
So you guys are kind of... You're in an unnamed district right now. Like, the district itself has a name, I just don't know what it is. But there's main districts of the city that I'm going to kind of, when you get the tour, I'm going to touch on real quick. There's like 5 main districts to this city. This is just like kind of a regular district that's unnamed. But as you were getting onto the dirigible and you're looking out over the city from, 80 feet up, you can see there's huge smokestacks everywhere and pollution belching into the sky with smoke. And just the sounds of industry everywhere as like big machines are grinding together and clockwork stuff is ticking. Steelin is a very industrious city.
Okay. Industry. As we're taking our seats and noticing all this, I'm gonna get Xoasin's attention.
Okay.
And striking Viper's hand signal, I'm going to start talking, but I'm just gonna vocalize my signals.
Sure.
Yeah. That's how we do it.
You're well acquainted with the different Fae, correct?
I mean, I know some of them. Somewhat. I'm gonna give back just a one-word somewhat.
Okay. There's a name I'm wondering if you have ever heard of.
Okay.
The Lady of Decay.
Probably roll an Arcana for that.
So, like, I as a person know who that is because I ran a campaign one time. But as a character, I don't know if I know what it would be. I don't think there would be really any reason for Xoasin to have come across that.
Okay.
So yeah, I will roll an Arcana. Because as worldly as this rogue wizard is that I've been playing, I really don't think that
You guys haven't really come across that aspect of D&D yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just don't think... I did get a 17, but I don't think I would still know that much, That's up to you, though.
You don't really know. From a name like Lady of Decay, you would assume that it probably has something to do with the Shadowfell, like the dark side of the Feywild. But that's about all you would know.
So all I say is it doesn't ring any specific bells, Bucky, but I would just imagine that any personage that carries a mantle of decay probably is not going to end well for you or whoever.
Okay. I was just curious. No reason.
Oh, really? I thought you brought it up to me like you had met someone. Like
No, not at all. Because okay, the way
that's why I related it to you, but I don't know. I don't know.
I'm thinking. So one, I was just wondering because I don't know whether to ask anyone or tell anyone specifically yet about what I saw. DM Brandon.
Did you read this in a book somewhere? Like now I'm curious.
But I feel like my vampiric connection to the Vampire Queen would be like keeping me from doing what Buckenwald would choose, because Buckenwald would not have anything to do with it.
Okay, so isn't like, I don't want you to think that I have a specific goal in mind or a specific end in mind for what this is. This is just something I've put out there as a story. Okay. So however you want to play it, however you want to internalize it is fine. Okay. Just don't think that I have an expectation for what you do.
No. I have a feeling like because I'm my vampiric connection, I'm certain aspects of what Buckenwald unvampirized would do. I have less of a sort of hard stance on that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Kinda.
So like if I wasn't a vampire, I'd be like, get away from me, thine nasty decaying wench. But because
I
of the
still think I
vampirism.
still think you have your own mind. I wouldn't
Yeah.
say the vampirism would make you do anything untoward. Like, you still are your own person for sure, but you might have to tolerate the presence of other things, you know?
Yeah. But also, I did go and feed on innocent people in Racine one time.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we all have our growing pains, right?
Granted, I did specifically search out, like, homeless people who were, like, hurt or dying. But...
Yeah.
Well, I gotta wonder, too, like, what does your vampire overlord know of your exploits? Probably maybe nothing, maybe everything, who knows?
that I'm not even sure. That would be a Brandon question.
Oh yeah, well, but I'm just bringing it up as something
Yeah.
to think about, not for looking for an answer. But yeah, I'm just gonna look out the window, see once we get up in the air,
Okay.
see what we see.
Ailas, you have not. You've been kind of looking out at the city as the steward is finishing up getting things ready for the airship to take off, and as it appears that it's about ready to go, you see fashionably late a woman in a kind of a sort of slinky dress, especially for her age, like kind of revealing clockwork dress, like so a brown dress with clockwork stitched into it. You know what I mean? Like little gears stitched in.
Like revealing for her age, like she's too old to be wearing something that slutty, or too young.
I probably shouldn't say too revealing for her age. She's like in her 70s.
Okay.
So however you want to take that.
So you'd still be down. You'd be like, hey girl.
Well, Remington, roll a
Girl power.
what would that be? No, I'm not even gonna have you roll for it because you're just gonna recognize her. You recognize this lady, Ailas.
Insight, I think, would insider perception or history. But I recognize.
Actually,
Okay.
well, roll an insight. We'll see if you do recognize her before she introduces herself.
Unless you want me to do it with advantage because I know stealing.
Did you roll?
Yeah, I rolled an 11.
11. You recognize her. You can't remember her name. She's an actress of some kind, but you cannot remember her name.
Okay. Do I know that she is a bard, or specifically, or is she just like an actress?
She's not magical,
Okay.
except on stage.
Okay. I immediately go, "Darling, it's been ages," and I walk over to her.
She kind of swirls over to you in her dress, and she gives you a big hug, and she says, Ailas, darling, I'd heard that you were going to be on this dirigible. And she puts her hand to her forehead.
Oh, so you sought me out, did you?
I did seek you out, Ailas, darling.
And what moniker are you going under these days?
Why, the same moniker I always... She raises an eyebrow. She says, the same moniker I always go by, Alcira.
Well, I remember in the early days, you didn't go by Asira. So I didn't know if you were maybe branching out or something along those lines.
No, honey, it's all about marketing.
And I'll just go ahead and roll a deception and really dirty 20 for because I rolled a 4 on the dice.
And you got a 20.
I got a 20. Yeah. I have a plus 16 in
Damn.
deception.
Yeah, you fooled her. Oh, she also wears something resembling a jeweler's loop over her left eye. So, like that.
Okay.
And she tells you that she has booked one of the other seats on the dirigible.
Wonderful. I'm so glad. It's been a pleasure. Are you still acting? Have you retired or...
Well, that's partially what I wanted to talk to you about is a new play that I may be doing.
Oh, do tell.
While they talk about this, I'll be back. I'm going to get Christmas cookies.
I'll be back. I'm gonna get drunk.
Well, perhaps, darling, we should have a seat on the dirigible and discuss inside.
By Christmas cookies, he means fucking weed cookies. So I'm gonna have to get real high to deal with these two. Well, I can't wait. I will offer my hand out and then guide her to her seat if she takes it.
She does. She very happily takes her seat.
Oh, also at this point, I have activated my
Trap card.
my trap card.
Yeah, it's a trap.
It's a trap.
I've activated my glamored studded armor to be something much more. You remember back when flying was a specialty and everybody would dress up for it instead of coming in their PJs?
Yeah.
That's basically what I've done. It's a very nice, loud but not crazy loud, crushed red velvet with golden piping.
Not that loud, but it's crushed red velvet.
But it's fucking Christmas, dog.
With corduroys, gee. No, it's not crazy. Penny loafers. Velvet line. Suede.
All right, so about this point, everybody gets into their seats and gets comfortable.
Okay.
You can either choose the seatbelt or not. It doesn't matter. The way, I guess it matters for safety, but it doesn't matter otherwise. So how I've got this set up in my mind, and I don't know if you guys feel differently, let me know and we can work on this together. I imagine that it's like a basket of some kind, like probably made of wood or something like that, that comes up maybe to about your waist. So like 3.5 feet up. And then you sit down so you can look out over the edge like this, and then there's like the things going up from there that are connected to the balloon. That's how I'm picturing it. I'm not picturing it as fully enclosed.
Okay.
Yeah, like maybe like convertible style.
And
yeah,
then-
I imagine you could close it.
And then up at the because the balloon itself is going to be quite large, so it'll block any weather that's coming directly downward. But there are what look to be some very thin wraps of fabric, and there's ropes coming down from those that if it were to like get weather that's blowing sideways or whatever, you could drop those and keep things from getting too soaked.
Like side tarps, almost.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Only they're see-through.
Xoasin, use Fireball.
Yeah. No.
Turn it into the Hindenburg.
Not be a good idea.
The humanity.
All right, at this point, the pilot calls out clear as the steward, with a quick nod, unfastens the final rope that tethers the dirigible to the dock. In one fluid motion, the steward leaps from the dock, soaring the 8 feet to land gracefully on the railing of the balloon. The ship lurches slightly as the last tether is released, and then, without warning, your stomachs drop. The dirigible rises smoothly into the air, its engine humming with a rhythmic pulse as it ascends towards the open sky.
I tell the guys they have the stewards equipped with rings of slow fall so they can jump and glide across the air to make sure that they land on the dirigible.
That's cool.
Xoasin's gonna steal all of them.
Give me 1 second here, guys.
No. Okay.
Trying to find a good airship map. I didn't think I was going to need one, but now that we're here, I would like one. We'll take a break at some point, like a 5-minute break, and I'll find it then. Okay, so instead of reading all this, because I kind of went on a big tear and I wrote a lot, I'm going to cut it down and not read this and just read shit to you guys.
That's fine.
So
this is role play, man.
Yeah.
you guys go over different parts of the city, and you're introduced to kind of the main districts. There's a bunch of Remington when we were making those maps together.
Okay, hold on. You cut out there. What?
Yeah, I saw that. When we were trying to make those maps together, there was like 50 districts in Steelin or something crazy, right?
Yeah.
What I figure is that what you are going to be introduced to isn't districts, but not sub-districts, but like mega districts. So each of these districts I'm going to describe actually contains, like 15 districts within it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
And I mean, we can play it like that, or we can just go in and edit the districts. That's fine. We can just leave the districts off if you wanted a vision of the city.
No, because that would make sense with the cities. You would still have like the Lumbar district, but the Lumbar district, it's part of the Cinderscape is what it's called, which is the first place you guys see on your tour.
Gotcha.
The Cinderscape. The Cinderscape. You notice the sensations of industry have begun to give way to the sounds and smell of an art district. The streets here are a deep red color, and from above they resemble branching rivers of blood dotted with muraled buildings and multicolored tents. So, the steward looks at you, Ailas, and not raises an eyebrow, but he looks at you and he says, "Do you know anything of the art district?"
Do I know anything of the art district?
Yes.
I've dabbled, yes. Why, do you have questions?
He goes on to give, point out the big opera house, and then he says, "Have you ever acted there?"
I have.
What were you in?
Let's see here. Let's see here. And this is I put straight up pulling this from Reddit. I played in The Stunningly Good-Looking Actor Who Saved the Village, a comedy. Springtime for Vecna, that was a comedy horror.
Springtime for Vecna?
Yes.
Oh, I love that for you.
It's a web P.
Hello.
Hello. This was more of a performance piece called Wrench. It was where 6 young bohemian elves sing about their plumbing problems, but never actually do anything.
What? Wait, what did I miss?
Ailas is going over some of the plays he's been in as you guys fly over the art district.
Oh,
And there was one about plumbing.
yeah.
Yeah, 6 bohemian. Yeah.
And then the big one was The Crucible with special guest star Asmodeus. That really brought in the people. And then frightened them, and then there was a whole thing where he had to be sent back to the 9 hells, and it was, yes.
I'm gonna channel my best inner Willem Dafoe here. Ailas, I'm something of an actor myself.
I've heard.
But sir, I've all the cream I need.
Exactly. Best
right,
play I've ever seen.
All the NPCs need to roll a knowledge check.
Oh no, everybody knows it. As soon as he says, "Sir, that's all the cream I need," or "I have all the cream I need," Asira Fern is her name. Asira Fern stands up and applauds you, and she says, "Darling, that's one of the best deliveries I've ever seen."
Oh, I wasn't there, but I heard he did a bang-up job.
Should I quick change into the milkmaid's outfit?
Yes.
Because I still have. I'm just gonna So I assume because Xoasin is a thief, he has little smoke bombs. And
and it was a magical
yeah,
magical thing anyway. You could do it as a bonus action, remember?
Yeah, but I want to do it. I want to make it theatrical.
Oh,
You want to set off a smoke bomb and a
Yeah,
flying...
well, I'll set off a smoke bomb for you while you quick change.
Xoasin, give me a magical smoke bomb. And then I just quick change into it, and then I'm just like, "But sir, I have all the cream I need."
Bravo!
Bravo!
Bravissimo! Bravissimo!
in a milkmaid's outfit.
I'm a milkmaid.
Alcira turns
I'm a
to
little
you.
milkmaid.
Alcira turns to you, Ailas, and she says, "Well, now he's hamming it up a little bit."
I mean,
Does
yes.
she notice?
Love
Has
that.
she noticed the like very red eyes yet?
I mean, yes, he's not a true actor. He doesn't know how to dial it back.
You guys, at this point, soar over what the guide tells you is Lion's Mane Avenue, which is a giant avenue that runs through a huge portion of Steelin. It goes up a big fucking hill, and it ends at the top of a hill. And that's like part of the edge of Steelin. It's situated on a winding incline, and shoppers take trams that travel on a constant loop from the bottom of the hill to the top and back again. So this is the shopping district, especially up the hill is the shopping district for like the rich parts. Because you guys are on a VIP, the pilot is assuming you guys want to see like the richer parts of the city, since that's probably where you'll be spending your time. So that appears to be where he's taking you.
Is Macaulay Culkin going to be there? If it's the rich part of the city.
Oh, I get you. No, he's dead. Stoned to death by bees.
Not the bees! That was Nicolas Cage, dude.
I'm talking my girl,
I
my
know,
friend.
my girl, dog.
Yeah.
You got
Talking about
anaphylactic
my
death.
girl.
He
That
can't
was a
see
fucked up
without
movie.
his glasses.
Yeah, exactly.
Great, now we're going to have to put a warning at the beginning of this episode to not hurt
Trigger warning.
millennials. Trigger warning for millennials. He can't see without his glasses.
I can't see without a glove.
That made me cry as a child. I'm not too proud to admit. When she said that, I teared up a little bit. All right, you bank southward and soar over Factory Row, a huge collection of districts covered in a layer of oily smoke and the sounds of industry. The ship weaves between massive metal walkways and huge chimneys sticking out of expansive factories. You see an enormous gathering of people outside the gates of a gray and drab brick building with purple smokestacks. A lot of the people are holding signs, but from this height, you can't read them.
I put
Appears
that.
that they're protesting.
I put that in, by the way, into the map.
Put what in? Factory Row?
The Citadel. And Factory Row, yes, the Steel
Oh,
Citadel.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool, okay.
It's in the district that's called Boomtown,
Appropriate.
which was originally called Factory Row, but has, you know how it likes to rename things as time goes on.
Oh, yeah.
So I decided to call it Boomtown because that's where all of the alchemists and the artificers are.
Okay,
I
nice.
thought it would be a nice touch.
All right, I'm going to take a quick break and get some more coffee, and then we'll be back, okay?
Okie dokie.
Or I'll be
Yeah,
back.
too.
I need to use the bathroom, too. Okay, so I know Bucky has to leave around 5 or a little before.
Yeah,
Basically,
for today.
what I had written was just kind of a tour of the city,
Yeah.
and then some options for things you guys can do. There's not going to be any combat or anything this session, if that.
I know we need to find out where the Doris Temple is because
Yeah, that would be a high up
I-
on the priority list.
Okay. I'll be right
I'll
back.
let-
You guys figure out what you want to do, okay? After this.
so Brandon, real quick, clarification question.
Yeah.
So everything that I saw, the vision with the lilac,
Yeah.
like the flower, getting absolutely freaking demolished. Did Ptyrl see the same thing I did?
Ptyrl saw the same thing up to a certain point.
So he saw.
Ptyrl heard the discussion with Lilac, but he was not there for the destruction of Lilac.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Okay.
Okay. So, guys, Ptyrl and I had a vision from Lilac, like the flower. I don't know if you remember her, the one Fae weirdo. We have we need to get whatever it is from the temple within the next day or so.
And what temple are you speaking of?
The Dorist temple here in Steelin. Apparently there's
I'm gonna-
there's an object.
Whoa. I'm going to, like, preside over this and just put my arm around Bucky and bring him in real tight, and I'm going to say, hey, buddy.
We're doing it hand signals.
Oh, okay, cool.
Does Ailas know hand signals?
Of course Ailas knows hand signals.
He's married to a viper, baby.
That's
I love that for you.
he would know the hand signals very well.
He knows a lot more hand signals than you do.
Oh. So anyway, so we have a little more than a day to get this object from the Doris Temple. It's some sort of map. And all I know is it's in a room on the second floor of the temple. That's all the information Lilac gave us.
I do want to bring up that our steward is part of the Thieves Guild of Racine. We might consult him.
Yeah, can he get us in there easily?
Maybe, I don't know.
Our steward...
Lilac did say something about, like, kill everyone in the temple, but... Which I am inclined to do, because the Slod, since our discovery of the Slod using the whole Dorist religion as a front, but also I feel like that would disrupt a lot of crap here in the city.
Is Dorism like D-O-O-R-I-S-M?
I think it's just D-O-R-I-S-M, if I remember correctly. Not everybody... See... That's just it. You have to be careful about these things, because not every Dorist is a Slod. That's something to keep in mind.
Yes. That's why I'm saying I don't know if we want to actually go in there and kill everyone, because, one, Lilac is kind of obtuse individual anyway.
Because wholesale slaughter is wrong?
Yeah.
So they say.
Yeah.
But
I do have the goggles of night, and that should reveal anybody who is, in fact, a Slod.
Okay, so we can, like, kind of check them.
Yes, and chances are good that it'll only be, like, the upper echelons within the church. I don't know if I've been here. See, Dorism has been spreading slowly for the last couple hundred years, I think.
Why do I feel like I have a note about this?
Maybe 100 or so. I'm trying to remember how old I am. I'm 204. So, but it's been spreading.
You're just a youngin'.
Yes, I'm not super old, no. But it has been spreading for a while now, and it's gained a foothold quite quickly in a lot of the cities because of the nature of it being a manifestation of the world, as it were. Hold on, Brandon's back. So how long, Brandon, has Dorism been spreading?
Hundreds of years.
Oh, is it hundreds?
Yes.
Okay. I stand corrected.
So there's definitely going to be the uninitiated that just follow the religion, like, oh, this is what I believe in my soul.
Yes.
But they're good people otherwise.
Yes, I mean, the religion itself, there's nothing bad about the religion itself. It's just the people who have created
People controlling it.
Yes. Did you guys see the quest that I shared?
Let me
Yes.
check. On the
I can
table?
put pictures.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I see it.
Okay, cool.
This is crazy.
What's that?
Just this fucking quest thing that popped up.
Oh, yeah.
The thingamajig.
Yeah, we've looked
too.
at it before.
No, I know. It's just there's just a lot to it.
Oh, yeah, there is. It's a whole thing.
No! Not Harold.
Fucking Harold.
No.
He's back.
No.
I'm back, baby.
It's much more likely that we'll be able to sneak into the temple, perhaps under the dark of night, which would probably be better for you, Buckenwald, anyway.
Yeah.
The pilot yells out, like, as you guys are flying over the protesting people, he says, these damn protests have been going on for weeks now.
Really? What is it? I mean, isn't that the Stealing Citadel?
He says, yeah, and then he goes into a long... Okay, imagine listening to somebody telling you about an entire season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Like the betrayal between family members and the drama and kind of the bullshit and who cares.
So Ailas is fucking riveted. Yes, go on. Oh my, terrible.
Zutalor.
All right, so you've got these three families right here. You've got the Millets, the Millers, and the Cotton Creeks. And they're three families. And
So pedestrian.
why they're fighting doesn't even matter because you guys aren't going to be in this city long enough for it to really matter. Everybody has an opinion you learn on these families. There's no right or wrong. There's not even one thing that's causing the drama. But like, we'll say that the Cotton Creeks own the Stealing Citadel.
Okay.
And then everything else is just family members fighting and drama and all kinds of stuff.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's what the protests have been over. Nobody can really pinpoint even who is protesting what at this point.
Mm-hmm.
People are just protesting outside of all the factories.
Gotcha. So I have 3 parts to the factory itself.
Looks like we're going union breaking, boys.
Sir, I'm gonna say to the captain.
Yeah. He's got big goggles on.
Would you be able to show us where the Dorist temple is? We've been looking into the religion on our home continent, and we're just kind of curious about if there's any differences between the one here and back home.
There's also a temple to Moradin here, as well as St. Cuthbert. But by and large, the city itself is not overly religious.
I can take you to the Doris Temple if you want. And then he gets like a big, wide smile and he says, "You want me to buzz it?"
I give him a quizzical look of what?
Buzzing it?
We.
Buzzing it. Right by it. Can you do one of those?
Yeah, we don't need dropped off. We can just see where it is, yes.
Yeah.
And if you want to
I'm
buzz it,
buzz,
if that
buzz.
makes you happy, my friend, buzz away.
By the way, does anybody have skills in vehicles? I know that they actually have it in D&D for some
I
reason.
have no.
I don't think I
Tegan
do.
does.
Oh yeah,
Take it in
Tegan
here.
does.
I do. Let me double check.
But
Zoot the laws.
Brandon, I've
I'm
got
going to.
the refinery and then the merchant. It's an offshoot of
Negative.
the main factory itself.
Okay.
So in my head, I had like the factory itself is where the stuff is actually created, and then it's refined, sent off to the refinery to make it more whatever. And then there's a separate section which does the selling, the warehouse, supplies and sales, packing department, stuff like that.
There's so much. It's such a big city.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you doing that.
I do
How are
have
you
a
getting
high
to it?
dexterity, but I do not have anything in vehicles.
The Citadel, or the Stealing Citadel itself. Inside,
You're just going to Stealing and then...
once it loads in on the top left-hand side, you can type in Stealing Citadel and it'll highlight it for you. But it's that one that's right next to the city council building. That's factory.
Also, I did want to get out, so maybe like a tower on the Stealing Citadel would be cool to like get out and take a look around the city, and then get back on the dirigible. Whatever's high up, whatever's high up in Stealing, I don't care really.
Yeah, he'll take you to one of the tallest parts of the city that airships can actually go to. That's not like
Like a port or
space.
like a sky dock.
Not space near the close to the where the council meets. You can't fly over certain parts of that. There's like no fly zones. But yeah, he can take you up to the
dock.
tallest tower, and from there he can point out where the Doris Temple is as well.
Okay.
Sky dock, baby.
And since we hadn't talked about that, I do not have a place set up for the Doris Temple yet.
That's fine. I don't either. I don't really know where it is. It's just kind of in the ethereal of my mind until I pick somewhere.
Right.
So if you want to place it somewhere, feel free.
It'll have to be afterward. It'd take too long to do it in-game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine.
I'm going to kind of subtly flag Ailas to get his attention.
Gross.
I look at him.
And striking Viper's hand signal, you look through the goggles at the pilot. The way he was very enthusiastic about the Doris Temple kind of
Okay.
is making... I'm sussed out.
Is the sun fairly bright right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, not where you are because the sun's kind of blocked out by the balloon quite a bit.
Okay. I actually, as he asks me that, I turn to, excuse me, Alcira, and say, "Oh, do you want to see something that I found on my travels?
I would love to, darling.
I found this. I was given this gaudy but perfect owl mask by a professor in Helens, and I put it on so I can take a look around me and see who is what.
Subtle.
It looks fantastic. It looks fantastic.
It looks quite dashing, darling.
Fuck. All right, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, for some reason I just froze up. I think because I downloaded a file and it was fucking 4K. I didn't realize until I clicked download. It was just an image, so it wasn't huge, but it was just enough that my computer was like, uh-oh, time to freeze for a moment.
Time to die.
Definitely.
All right, so you are putting on, from what I gathered, you're putting on the mask to look at the pilot?
To look around in general. I'm going to look around as if I'm showing it off, but I'm checking everybody here.
Okay, roll me a perception, please, sir.
I will perceive.
Will you now?
I will.
Oh, good luck with that.
He got a 26.
I got 26.
He perceptive AF, boy.
I've got a plus 13 in perception.
Holy crap.
You're so perceptive.
I need to intimidate people more.
Persuasion is my 16 in persuasion and deception, and then 13 in perception, 11 in performance, and 10 in stealth. So those are all of my ones that are over 10.
Bards really are skill monkeys.
Oh, yeah.
All of my ones that are over 10, holy shit.
I don't have a single
Woo, skied up.
I've got
thing that's
three,
over 10.
I've got 3 at number 9 and 1 at 14.
Nice.
My intimidation and persuasion are at +7, and that's it.
Yeah. Pretty good. Oh, I got a map.
Anyway.
On a map.
What are you perceiving, sir?
All right, so you perceive the pilot is normal. No, everybody on the airship is normal.
Okay.
Nobody is a disguised slot. However, as you happen to gaze across the city with your mask just to see what your little Ailas eyes can see, you notice that multiple buildings, especially factories, have the symbol of Dorism, the rose and key, burnt, like glowing in runes, invisible runes on the rooftops.
Oh no.
Like 20, 50 feet tall.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Let me. I'll just make a new quest. Runes.
That's bitch.
Of Dorism.
This is a cool map.
Okay, so.
Yeah, it is.
It's so
Oh,
detailed.
it's just, oh yeah.
Several
This is
of
fun.
the factory buildings.
Yeah, dude, you could even clip this and just use the inside parts if you wanted to, and
Especially-
not make it in the sky, just make it on the ground, you know?
Yeah.
I didn't know you could even use the grid on it like this.
Yeah, I didn't have to do anything either. It just, the grid just worked. Most of the time it doesn't.
Is it a free map that we can use?
Yeah, I just found it. I was just...
I mean, is it actually like free for us to use?
Yeah, I don't think it has any price on it or anything.
Okay.
Let me find it. Let me go back to that website.
Several
If
of
it's
the,
not, we'll look into it. 'Cause if it's
Dungeon Draft. It's posted in r/Dungeon Draft.
not, oh, it's good then.
okay. Several of the
It's posted
to
factories, several of the factory buildings, especially, have an invisible, glowing Dorist rune. What does the Dorist rune look like again?
It is a key, except the head of the key is a rose.
Rose-headed key.
Cat butt.
I know, cat.
Catbutt.wav.
Emblazoned EM? Emblazoned?
Yes, emblazoned.
Okay.
Embison.
Embusted.
Fucking
God.
Busted.
The fact
still
that I
spelled it
think
wrong.
the same things as Bucky makes me question everything.
Good. Just so you're aware, it should.
Alright, so Xoasin, you are actually kind of in a... Because this map looks so cool, you guys have docked in an airship dock on a floating island above Steelin. Very small island. Hidden amongst the pollution. So you're above the pollution, but it was hidden from where you guys can see. You couldn't see the floating island. It's very small.
Love it.
Okay.
So,
I
as
made a
we're on
request.
this airship or whatever, yeah, I put us up on the airship.
Oh, I need to light it. Shit.
I mean, I'm imagining that. Or which one are we on?
You can be on any of them.
I'll put a
Probably
big
one of the
light.
smaller ones.
Okay. We'll go
You can just,
smaller.
I can just make it so it's lit, Remington.
Okay.
It's lit, fam.
So, I would imagine that this is very contentious territory. I would imagine that, like, every family and every slotty wants to own this territory, so they would probably have representatives from everything, is my guess. But what is this, like a casino? Is this like a bed and breakfast? Is this like a private castle? Is this a government establishment? I'm gonna ask our steward.
The steward says thinking.
Yeah, I'll
Looking
do
at
it.
map and considering.
Yeah, you definitely. take
So
it
what the map looks like is an actual like keep of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say that this is an old keep that has been turned into like a inn of some kind, a place where you can stay. There's different rooms. It looks like there's different rooms. There's a chapel, smoke book area. Yeah, so it looks like an inn of some kind, but like a communal inn.
Mad money's gotta flow through this bit.
The steward nods and says,
guys
"Mad
and
money
go,
flows through this bitch."
Yeah, I'm gonna look over you guys and go, may we stay here? I'm gonna rub my hands together like a greedy Frenchman. The French aren't greedy, I don't know why I said that.
It's because you're racist.
Against,
Just against the
Notoriously
French.
racist.
so.
against a nationality,
Yeah.
I'm totally.
Wait, I can't say nationalist.
I'll be right back, guys.
Okay.
All good.
All right, so Xoasin, there's some stuff that I figured you might be interested in. I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there that places sell. Or Buckenwald, you might be interested too. Ailas, I don't
Places
think
to
would
sell?
really care.
Okay,
No,
because I
there
want
are
to
places-
offload a bunch of my junk.
Yeah, are there some shops up here? I guess I imagine it might be, maybe.
Yeah, this is because I needed somewhere to put it. There is an Inventors Plaza here.
Hell
So where
I'm going to the Inventors Plaza, baby.
we'll say where this fountain is. There's a guy that's has like a big tent spread out.
Oh,
Let me
big
draw it
tent.
out.
Oh, I want to see your big
Old
tent.
Spread out. Yeah, put me
Big
under that
tent
tent,
vibes.
baby. Big titties.
Big, no.
And this is a rugged rock gnome.
Rock gnome.
The rock, no.
Is that like a rock lobster?
Fantastic.
Doo, doo, doo. Yes. So he's very short and squat. He looks like if somebody took a dwarf and just shrunk them in like Photoshop. So all of
But
his
only in one
proportions,
direction.
all of his proportions are a little weird, and he's kind of squat. But his shop underneath the tent, on the carpet that he has spread out, is just mechanical pieces and inventions and things kind of walking around on four legs.
Awesome.
That's
I would like to greet him. Hello, sir.
Hello there, how's it going?
Gosh, darn it.
No, he doesn't sound like that. I'm going to do something different. He has a deep and rugged voice that sounds like I'm not going to do it, but it sounds like he has seen some shit.
Hey.
Like that Sam Harris guy or whatever. Who was the guy who played the old cowboy?
Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott.
Yeah, he sounds like Sam Elliott.
Hello. Run.
Cool.
I'm here to sell my wares.
Yeah, there you go.
Here we go. I can also play the guy who's selling all of this stuff for Brandon.
I want to ask him about our
Brandon,
Spidey,
just like type to me what I need to say.
our Spidey friend. He has a thermostat or something that's going haywire on this plane. I don't know if he's ever encountered stuff from Mechanus or
Thermostat issue, you say?
an interdimensional.
Dimensional.
Dimensionale.
He tells you that he's just started to learn a little bit about Modron work and Mechanus because he's had a lot of strange metal pieces coming in lately that he couldn't figure out where they came from, like what kind of metal it was. So he did some research and found out that it appears to be of Modron or Mechanus make. And he points to some of his smaller machines and says, I made these out of them.
Yeah, I've started hearing word of this place called Mechanus or whatever. It's kind of confusing to me. I don't understand all this new damn fangled technology, but I'm doing my best, as you see here. And
His name's Tark the Rusted, by the way.
yeah, I'm Tark the Rusted, and I sound like Sam Elliott.
I actually did not know I could do a good Sam Elliott until this moment.
This is fortunate for us.
These Modron, they're kind of interesting little creatures or creations, as you might call them.
They seem alive to me.
All right, fill me in. What are we doing?
There is a tent. That's what the square is that I've drawn on the map.
Okay.
Or rectangle or whatever. Underneath it, there is a rock gnome named Tark the Rusted who is selling mechanical creatures that he has built.
And he kind of sounds like Sam Elliott.
He sounds like Sam
I'm
Elliott,
doing a
we
voice.
decided. So Bucky's doing the voice of Sam Elliott.
Like Sam Elliott.
He kind of sounds like Sam Elliott. And I learned a little bit about Mechanus or whatever that place named may be. But you need something to regulate temperature, you say?
Yeah.
Ethan, by the way, your face is blown the fuck out.
White or dark?
I can see your beard.
There you go.
Let me see.
Okay, it fixed it. I could see your beard and your beanie. That was it.
Your beard and your beanie.
The light from the window is kind of bright. Let me see. Here, let me
Does
try and put
Tark the...
It's pretty good now. So
Yeah,
Okay,
it
cool.
fixed it. It must have just been a glitch. Does Tark the Rusted have anything like that?
Yeah. I just
Something
wanted
to regulate temperature.
Well, it was just I thought wasn't Spidey having a temperature regulation issue?
Yeah, he tells you that he's not familiar enough with that kind of technology to be able to tell you, but he has a big box of extra parts you can look through if you want.
Hey, right on. Let's do it.
Here, I don't know of anything specific. But this is a bunch of Modron or Mechanus, whatever stuff that I've been getting in my travels.
Oh, thanks. If we find
As if
anything,
your standard
we will give you an offer.
And Buckenwald is going to chime in. Do you happen to sell weapons at all, sir? I have some, or would you be interested in purchasing any? Because I have a handful of weapons that have been weighing me down lately that I don't really use and would like to offload.
So I froze when Ethan was talking before Bucky did. So what did you say, Ethan? I heard make me an offer or something like that.
Yeah, if we find a part we need, we'll make you an offer.
Okay. This is a box about the size of a treasure chest, and it's like very small pieces and weird machinery that makes no sense. Some of it like literally breaks your mind a little bit to look at, like Mobius strips and things that have no beginning or end to them. I guess you would roll... Oh, there's Ailas.
I'm gonna help as he rolls. I'm gonna help just because I might. I think I've tinkered with the Modron stuff like 3 mil. I tried to tinker with him a couple of times.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think the best. I guess an investigation would probably be.
What's your investigation, Xoasin?
I am looking, and it is
+9.
Okay, so I'll give him the help
Thank you.
action.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna roll it. Give me chat.
So,
And also, as far as weapons go,
Roll it again.
he does not sell weapons, but he would be willing to buy anything you have.
okay.
Nice.
Just for the sake of time, I'm not going to make you guys go to a bunch of different salespeople.
So I'm gonna just write a list of what I have that I want to get rid of, or could I just? I don't know what to do, how to do that necessarily.
Just make a list for next time, and we'll just sell it. I'll just sell it in between sessions and let you know.
Okay.
I got an 18.
You got more than that,
No, you-
Bubba. You have a +9.
Oh, my
So you have a
bad.
22.
So you got
I thought I had
22.
a +5. It's +9. Oh, it is +9. Okay, I got +4 more than that. 22. Yep.
22. Yeah, you find something that looks like a thermometer.
Yeah.
If
a
anything was
thermostat.
a
Yeah.
thermostat, if anything was going to work, it would be this. You're not sure, but it appears to be. It regulates temperature or something.
Like a
Maybe it would
large
work.
glass bulb with two copper wires
Filled with
molded
mercury.
into it. Yeah, there you go.
Or
Yeah.
alcohol.
Yeah, kind of like.
Or barium. I think you can use barium too.
Barium,
strontium.
damn near killed him. Huh?
Eh?
You're an idiot.
So besides that, the things that he's having a conversation with you guys as you're digging through and looking, just to tell you
Yes.
the other things he sells.
Sam Elliott words and such.
He sells little mechanical insects for 50 gold apiece.
Nice. I want one.
He
I want
sells inert mechanical creatures fitted with a charged charm.
Nice.
How much are these?
Wait. I just.
These are
want the little
400 gold
mechanical,
apiece.
What is the charged charm? What does that mean?
Okay, so I was trying to read the description, and I got lost. So the next thing he shows you is a little mechanical creature. He shows you a fox, little clockwork fox, and he says, "I've got a bunch of these things." And he shows you like a case, and he's got toads and owls and other creatures. He says that you can use a physical key, and he shows you a tiny little key, and you put it in the back of this thing and turn it, and he mimes turning it. And he says it casts a spell. It casts a spell called Find Familiar. And this little guy animates and becomes your familiar for 1 week.
That's cool.
400 gold. And he spits on the ground.
I just want I want 2 of the 50 gold little insects. Those are cool.
Okay.
That's for toys or whatever.
He tells you he's got 4-legged mechanical beasts for riding or work. And he also has mechanical bodyguards. These bodyguards, he has a melee one and he has a ranged one. What these are is these will be like basically a little golem that you guys have to control as part of your party if you want one.
Ooh, how
They're
much are
3,000
those?
gold. 2,500 for the melee, 3,000 for the ranged.
So we could make a group purchase.
Well, oh no, we've got.
Give me a minute.
I already subtracted 100 gold for your little spider guys.
I'm going to chime in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to do any better of a price on that? We are military men. I'm gonna roll a persuasion.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay.
Natural
nat
fucking
20.
20. Hey!
He sells it to us for 3 gold.
Yeah, for free, bitch.
Free
All right,
50 free.
He's like, I had an aunt who served.
So you wanted a better price on what? The bodyguards?
The bodyguards.
The
Yeah.
3,000 gold bitches.
I just want a single
Okay.
melee one.
Hell yeah.
For me.
I tell you what, for the military, you buy a melee one, I'll throw in a ranged one for free.
Damn, that's a deal.
Hey.
Buy one, get one free deal.
So let's see. So 2,500, right? Was what the?
Do we have that much?
Yeah, we've got 3,400.
I don't know what. I've not looked in our coffers, Ailas.
You guys haven't really needed gold because you guys have so much stuff.
We have 3,400 platinum and 1,900 or 19,005 gold.
Okay,
That's
then.
beautiful.
All right, so Xoasin, what these mechanical insects do, they can carry a short recorded message to someone you can see.
5 minutes.
That's
So you can
badass.
record a message of, we'll say it's like the sending spell,
Yeah, hell yeah. Also-
except you have to be able to see them, and also whenever you use them, there's a 10% chance that they are lost or destroyed because they're
Okay.
tiny little insects.
Gotcha. 10% lost or destroyed, and they're sending. All right. Hey, also, I want to put forward there that we have all this gold and platinum, but we are attempting to save up to build our very own castle keep somewhere someday.
True.
Yeah, and assuming the golems survive, they can be guards.
Yeah, hell yeah.
He says, if you need guards, if you get a keep and you need guards, I can make these things all day. Takes me about 6 months to make one, though.
Tark
Takes a
the
long
Rusted,
time, but
we
they're-
will,
Yeah.
we'll consider bringing
Tark
you
the
on board.
Rusted. I'm Tark the Rusted.
I'd love somewhere safe to stay.
I'd love somewhere safe to stay.
I'd love somewhere
I'd
safe
love a
to hang
home.
my hat.
Me,
Hang my hat.
me and my horse that just turns into fire. Like his character from Ghost Rider with Nicolas Cage.
All right.
So I have to leave here in a few minutes. And
yeah, we
the
can end
list
here
of-
if there's anything else you want to do.
The list of weapons that I put there, that's what I want to offload to him. I do not care what sort of things they, what I get for them.
What list of weapons?
It's
I
in
put
the
it
Discord.
in Stanford.
Oh, it's above the
That's
thing.
the
Okay.
list. And that I just wrote down the name for name of what
I'll
it
be right
is
back.
that I want to get rid of.
You gonna ditch Orkenbane?
Well, I've not used it,
It's true, but it's
and isn't it like kind of shit compared to
yeah.
everything
It's
else?
just
that
I think it's
we
like a
have?
plus. I think it's like
It's a plus one longsword.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
The
use a-
Warhammer +3, I think, is your weapon.
No, because I
think-
have another one that says Buckenwald's hammer. I think the +3 Warhammer, that was just a... Or if that needs to just be deleted anyway, I think we did that just
Yeah,
as a
that just needs to
placeholder.
be deleted because
Okay.
any +3 weapon is a named artifact in this
Okay.
world.
Yeah, I think we did put that there just as a placeholder while I was...
This here.
for the episode where I made the hammer,
Yeah.
Yes.
while you or Rem got it ready. So...
All right, so we're going to go ahead and finish here. However, Ailas, Alcira has some information for you.
Okay.
She tells you that she's come into possession of some sheet music that has her frightened.
Sheet music, you say?
Her hand shakes as she pulls a composition from a side bag. I was given this piece by an acquaintance who believed I could do it justice. He knows I have he knows I have a flair for the weird shit. But Ailas, darling, this is next level stuff. She hands you the sheet music, Ailas.
I take a look
It's
at
just... It's just sheet music to Metallica's Black Album.
It is sheet music with lyrics. So as you read over what it is, the gist of the lyrics tell the story of a boy who finds a green-eyed skull, and I can repeat this so you don't need to keep track of every word I'm saying. It tells the story of a boy who finds a green-eyed skull on an ancient battlefield that begins speaking to him, and the majority of the lyrics are sung by the skull. The initial setup is good, although a bit pedestrian. However, once the mask comes in, the lyrics become nonsensical and the instrumentation goes from slightly discordant to completely chaotic. The song ends with the boy picking up a discarded stone mace from the battlefield and turning towards the skull with rage. And then if you want, I'm going to have you roll an investigation to see if you can make sense of something with the spell, or
That's
with the... with the sheet music. Or you can do an
I'm
arcana
imagining
because you
like
feel
a-
magic coming off of it a little bit.
A Wagnerian epic of like a
go.
Norseman boy
Okay.
on the battlefield.
Thanks for playing,
Yeah, hey,
Bucky.
see you, Bucky.
Yep. Everybody have a good night. Merry
You too.
Christmas.
See you, Bucky.
Happy
Oh, you too.
Merry
Kwanzaa
Christmas.
and whatever.
See you, Bucky.
Goodbye, Iris. Happy Crisis.
Yeah, happy Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Got served. Okay. Performance wouldn't help me at all.
You can roll a performance for
I
it.
would say you could perform it. That's badass.
Okay, I'll go ahead and take a look at it from a performance perspective first. And then, I'm going to do a history. If that's okay.
Yeah.
It's got a 21 on the performance. And a 9 on the history.
All right, so with the performance, you're just trying to see if there's anything out of the ordinary with it?
Yeah, and then a 10 on an insight, so not rolling well.
Okay, so as far as the performance goes, there's something weird about the cadence of this music.
Okay.
Almost as if there's magic woven into the music itself. The history, I assume you're rolling to see if you know anything about this.
Yeah, seeing if anything sparks my knowledge.
With a 9, no.
Okay.
And then insight, what was the insight for? Kind of the same thing?
Yeah, just if anything in general popped up.
You notice a name at the bottom,
Okay.
like at the very end of the sheet music that tells who wrote it.
Who composed it, yeah.
Who composed it, thank you. As you are looking at the sheet music, Alcira asks you if you recognize the name on the music.
Okay. And do I?
I forgot to make a fucking name.
So, yes.
It's so hilarious when you're making notes, the little stuff that you forget to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I have all this shit written, and then I'm like, oops, didn't make a name.
You need a composer's name?
I'm gonna use an avatar name generator.
Do it, yeah.
See what we get.
It'll be like Bulk,
Zoram.
Zibidoo. From the
Zoram is the name at the bottom.
I'm going to make
Zoram.
my own.
Zoram, I love it. The Mad Arab.
I'm going to make.
Zoram. Okay, so do I recognize the name Zoram?
You don't even need to roll for it because before you can answer, she blurts out, "Of course you don't recognize the name. It's fake, darling." She puts her hands up in the air as if she has bamboozled you once again with her hilarity.
How do you know it's fake, dear?
She goes on to explain that she tracked the creation of the sheet music to the Temple of Roses, i.e. the Doris Temple. Late one night, she was spying from a building across the street. She saw a group of men dressed in red leather enter into the temple. "I've become an expert at reading body language, honey, and these men were up to no good." She begins to tear up. "I swear, though, Ailas, one of them stopped and looked directly at me from across the street. I know with every bone in my body that whoever or whatever that person was saw me. And since that night, I can't shake the feeling of being watched." She tells you also, because I forgot to write this part down, that in her investigation, she found that the actual creator of this sheet music was Father Oliver, who is the head priest of the Doris Temple. That's what led her there. So she knows that the sheet music was created, or at least the actual name put on it was Father Oliver of the Doris Temple.
Alcira, Alcira, right?
Yes.
So you received the sheet music after noting these people?
I received this sheet music from my producer, darling.
Right.
He thought it would be good for me.
Right, but after
know before.
Interesting. She received the piece before noting the what were they doing that she was watching?
They were men in red leather armor, and they were entering the Dorist temple. While they weren't doing anything untoward as they were entering the temple,
Yeah.
she said she's become an expert at reading body language, and these men were up to no good.
She believes she had been made. Okay. By one of the men. Oh, that's right.
Xoasin, if
Okay,
you
that
wanna-
makes sense. Never mind. I got it. Mm-hmm.
Xoasin, if you want to take a knowledge arcana on this, you can, too, on the sheet music, see if you recognize anything with it. With the latent magic.
And I'll give you the help action since I've already rolled 3 times, so you can at least do it with. Is he still there?
He's muted. No, he's not.
Okay.
Okay, well, do you want to roll for him, Rim?
Yeah.
Just with advantage? And then we'll end here.
Okay. Maybe. Oh, okay. Never mind. Knowledge Arcana with advantage.
Advantage.
Got a 21 on that.
All right. Yeah, he recognizes that if through this magic, there's a very powerful mass suggestion spell. Somehow cast through this music is held a mass suggestion
The
spell.
music contains a mass suggestion spell that is activated when performed.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and end it here because it looks like we kind of have to anyway.
Ask Xoasin.
What's up?
Okay, so I had you look at the sheet music and gave you help action for Arcana.
Yeah.
You
hold on.
found, yep.
Go ahead. You're good.
You found that the music contains a mass suggestion spell that is activated when performed, and then I'm putting in notes ask about altering the spell so it doesn't activate, basically.
So like a cancellation
Yeah.
or like a
cancel-
counter spell.
Yeah. Or
I
if
got
we
you.
can find out if we can suss out what the message is that is being suggested, that we can change that suggestion.
That would be cool. But this is supposed to be performed in front of the audiences still?
Yes.
Does it have a schedule or?
So it was shopped to her. It has not been performed yet, but it was shopped to her as a
It's not like-
suggestion.
I gotcha.
Can I talk to
That's
Mama?
cool.
Can
I
I,
think-
talk to Noah?
In a minute.
Have
I
you
think
unmuted it yet?
Alcira, I believe that we might have a plan for this. We'll have to keep in touch.
You know where I live, darling. Come visit me before you leave.
I will. Do not perform this.
Oh, I didn't plan on it. I don't know who else my producer has sent it to, though.
I have a sneaking suspicion that it was only given to you. That's just a gut feeling, and I've always learned to trust my gut. I will say this. Don't tell him that you aren't going to do it. Tell him that you're considering it, and gauge his reaction on that. And then... I tell you what, Alcira, and I look around so nobody's around us.
Okay.
I get down close to her and I say, I pull out my goggles.
Okay.
I'm going to loan these to you, Alcira. These are actually goggles of the night. Do you know what those are?
I have no idea, darling.
It shows the truth behind the mask.
So which goggles are these? Out of character.
These are the owl goggles.
True
Goggles of the night.
sight.
Okay.
The ones that give you
Like the owl mask? Like,
yeah, because the goggles of night was what it was based off of because it increases my dark vision, but it also gave me
It was based off of the something of true seeing, I think.
oh, was it? I
Is
thought
what they
you
were
just put
called.
true seeing on it. I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't
know. It's
have
been
it in
forever.
I don't have it
Well,
in
I'll figure it out later. We can continue.
Okay.
I thought it was like a professor's students or something.
Well, it was I know it was an owl mask and it gave me true sight.
Yeah. It did, and I thought the eyes glowed or were illuminated.
Yeah. It's not subtle, I will tell you that. If
Yeah.
you're wearing it, it's not subtle.
Yeah. So
No, it wasn't goggles at night because it gives you true.
Man, it's not subtle.
Anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
Now, when it's activated, it's not subtle. So you can, as you're quote unquote showing, like I did to you earlier, when you activate it, you can explain it away however you wish, but this will reveal what is behind the mask.
Perhaps I could do some kind of, and she puts the thing on her head and she says some sort of owl-based dance routine.
Mayhaps. Tell your what is he?
Producer.
Tell your producer that you're working on something and put this on and see what he looks like. If he looks like a big lizard person, try to stay calm and just let me
Be
know.
prepared for that.
And I pull out one of my sketchbooks and I open it up to a slod picture that I've drawn
Okay.
and show her. It's much more terrifying in real life, I will tell you this.
Oh dear, that looks frightening.
It is, but you have to do your best, put on your best acting pants to not give away that you know what he is, if he is.
I can do that, darling.
Also, I take off my ring of mind shielding
Okay.
and I put it on her
Wrapping
hand.
presents.
Okay.
Cool.
This is a ring of mind shielding. These things communicate through telepathy. Spend an hour with this ring, focusing on it, and it will attune itself to you. That will protect your mind if in case it tries to scry upon your thoughts. I do
Okay.
want these back.
Of course, I'll consider it a loan.
Very good.
A loan.
Alone. Very good. Stay safe. Remember to smile through the pain, and I will see you soon.
She gives you a hug and then leaps off the side of the island. No, I'm kidding. She moves to one of the other airships and goes to take her leave. So we're going to end with you guys on this island deciding what to do. If there's anything, Ailas, I think pretty much everything you have you don't need to sell because you already have it. Or
Yeah.
You picked it pretty recently.
Yeah, everything that I have is pretty well just stuff that I would have on me.
Did you hear me telling? Yeah, you did because you got bodyguards. So the bodyguards are CR6 creatures, so they're basically level 6 things. I did the stats for. I'll drag them next time. Just remind me if you guys will.
Okay.
There's a ranged one and there's a melee one. Where did I put them?
Where did
We got both of them, right? We bought one, got one.
Did you create it in
Yeah.
the actors?
I did. I just
What
don't
is it
remember
called?
Where. Oh, there it is.
What are they called?
Clockwork bodyguard right here and clockwork sharpshooter right here. I'll set it so everybody can activate them. We're done, Ethan, so if you need to go, you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Mariah has to go out to her mom's and help her with some stuff. And Cyrus hit his hip on the door, and I was like, dude, don't shed your clothing, Jesus Christ. Anyway, I'm gonna get off here and handle them as she leaves.
All right, later, man.
I'll see you guys later.
See ya.
Okay.
All right, yeah. So, if you want to look at this, we can look at the stats of the bodyguard.
I dragged them
what
into
I
my companions token. Or companions thing. I don't remember what that does, but
Okay, so the clockwork bodyguards, they get a +6 to attack. They do 2d8 plus 4 bludgeoning damage. They have an ability called Pressure Valve that they can use once per long rest. Once per long rest for you guys, I guess. It releases a series of vents in quick succession from its body. Each creature within 10 feet of it must make a DC 14 strength saving throw or take 4d8 force damage and be knocked prone.
jeez.
It also have defensive. It can use that once per long rest, as mentioned. It also has defensive protocol. As a reaction, whenever a creature within 5 feet of the bodyguard is hit by an attack, the bodyguard can impose disadvantage on the attack roll. If the attack still hits, the bodyguard takes half the damage dealt to the target instead. So, like, if the bodyguard is directly beside you and a monster hits you successfully, before it rolls for damage, the bodyguard can use its reaction to say, I'm going to impose disadvantage, and that monster has to re-roll
That's
and take the lower of the 2 dice.
That's pretty good for sure. My oh, why do I still have the Tome of Influence? I shouldn't have that. My Robe of Scintillating Colors does basically a similar thing.
Okay. And then the, what is the... Sharpshooter has precision shot +7 to hit, 3d8 plus... Wow, I might have to change that. 3d8 plus 10... 3d10 plus 4 piercing damage.
That's pretty beefy.
Seems really high.
That
I'm gonna
it's
do
not.
I'm
It's
gonna
not.
change it to 2d10.
Hold on. It's not too high. Considering what we may be fighting, they have a low hit point pool. So that's kind of the trade-off I feel like. Although I would say that the Clockwork Sharpshooter's hit points would arguably, well, I mean, it's 75.
Yeah, it's not bad. AC 16. I guess this is fair. I mean, I can't remember what I used as the base for it, but I barely changed anything except the name and the names of the weapons, or the name of the shots.
Yeah.
Or no, that's right. I used that generator I showed you, the monster generator.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I used for
Overcharged shot does an average of 22 damage. I mean, that's not bad. Multi-attack, 2 precision shot attacks, evasive maneuver. When a ranged attack hits the sharpshooter, can use its reaction to move up to 10 feet in any direction. Interesting. This movement does not provoke attack. That's cool.
Yeah, I thought that was neat.
So so he still gets hit, but then he can move. Almost
So
like diving.
He has
undercover.
multi-attack. Yeah. He has multi-attack. The Clockwork Bodyguard does not have multi-attack. So the Clockwork Bodyguard's just worse, basically.
Yeah, but you can give
But he's got the pressure valve and the call's pretty good.
You can give it multi-attack.
Yeah.
Clockwork Bodyguard and what their CR6. Let me see here.
Yeah.
Probably just based off of a fighter. So a level 6 fighter I think has 2 attacks.
Yeah, they get a second attack at level 5.
Yeah. So yeah, multi-attack would be good for that too.
Yeah, I guess if you guys are going to use him as a bodyguard, he might as well be useful.
Yeah.
I'll give him... Okay, I will give him multi-attack before next time.
Cool. Okay. All right. Well, I guess it's just you and me, baby. So let's say goodbye.
All right. Yeah, I'll just leave that for next time. Okay.
All right.
Thanks for watching, everybody who did pop in and watch or may watch later on in the future.
Yep. Remember to hit the subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube, and hit the bell so you get notifications that we're coming on. Follow us on Twitch if you're watching there, and you should be able to turn on notifications for that too if you want to continue listening to the story, darling.
Yes. I'll see you, Fern.
Yes. So until next time, ogres, keep your clubs blunt.
And your tusks sharp.
Good
night.
night.